Okay, I've certainly seen many students do things in their head, and there's nothing wrong with that. And they basically can do the AC method in their head. All right. I'm also going to claim that other students, what they do is they try. All right. What do you mean by try? They actually write a lot of stuff down on paper. It's very frustrating now. By the way, if you have poor multiplication skills, it even makes it more frustrating because it's a very slow process. But let me just put this down for you where I'm going to make a simple substitution. And I'm hoping by making a simple substitution that it becomes a little bit more obvious what this is. So it could be 14u squared plus, oh boy, this looks like a tough one, 39au plus 10a squared. Yeah, it looks kind of difficult, but I'm looking at the 14 and the 10, and I'm looking for numbers, right? That's all I'm looking for. I'm going to say, kind of looking at it, I don't know, I'm going to say 2u and 7u, all right? And then I'm looking at the last guy. It's really a 10, but I know there's an a there, so I know I got to deal with that guy. And I'm going to say 2 and 5. Now, if I say 2 and 5, let me just repeat this. You could not put the 2 here. You couldn't do it. So I put the 2 here, 2a, and the 5a over here. Let me repeat this. I did not claim this works. I just claimed I'm willing to try it. So I'm going to put plus plus down, and let's see if we get it. Well, 2u times 7u, 14u squared. Worked beautifully. Then what do you get? Let's see if we get the last term. Well, you would get 10a squared. You get that. Let's see if we get the middle guy. So what are you going to get? 4au plus 35au. Well, that's 39au. So this worked beautifully. So I'm ready my answer now. It's 2u. What's u? M minus n. So it's 2m minus 2n plus 5a. And then 7u would be 7m minus 7n plus 2a. All right, my question is, did I get what I want? Let's put this over here. But what I want, the answer key, by the way. I realize these can be confusing sometimes, but I hope you see it. And I hope you see this. Someone says, what's going on with the other one? Now, I got to be honest with you. I don't think it's the best idea, but some people like to write things in alphabetical order. And if you did that, the first factor would be written as 2a, 7m minus 7n. The second factor would be written as 5a plus 2m minus 2n. Now, by the way, do not feel obligated to do so, but some people are possessed by the order of alphabetizing those terms, all right? So I'm going to say not bad by trial and error, but I do want to discuss the AC rule. All right, so what's the AC rule going to be? Well, I got to look at the A. I'm put on what I mean by that. That's the 14, and the C, which is 10. Don't worry about the A, by the way. I should say the A squared. And 14 times 10 is 140. But what I have to do is find two numbers that multiply to 140 but add to 39. And those two numbers are 4 and 35. Relatively simple. Then what do? You take the middle term, and you must break it into two separate terms, where the numeric coefficients would be 4 and 35. I'm only putting one order down. And then what do? You factor by grouping the first two and the last two. And that's relatively simple to do. What would you do in the first guy? When I say the first guy, the first two, a 2m minus n comes out. What are you left off with? Well, 7 times n minus m, which would be this, and then you'd be left off with 2a. All right? The last two terms, what's common there is 5a. What's left over? 7 times m minus n, which would be 7m minus 7n. And then if you factor 5 out from that 10a squared, you get 2a. What do you now know? Those two terms have a factor in common. And what's that factor? 7m minus 7n plus 2a. And what's left over? Well, 2 times m minus n, which is 2m minus 2n plus 5a. All right? And we're done. All right? Either way. What does it want to say over here? no matter what you do, you're going to be ending up with these factors. 7m minus 7n plus 2a, and the other factor you end up with is 2m minus 2n plus 5a. And that's what we did originally. Thank you.